Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with Texas Best Used Motorcycles right here in Mansfield, Texas. I'm here today to show you a really slick 1964 Dodge Polara. It has a built 440 with a solid lifter cam. It's got alumina coat headers, Alumacoat. And it's got a really nice looking paint job. The previous owner told me the car was painted over 10 years ago. When you walk up on this car, it really looks slick, but if you look real close, you can start to see some of the little flaws, but very minor. There's a little bubble right there. Over here on the deck lid, I saw some spots, like little, maybe flecks of white paint. And there was a place here that was touched up right here, kind of a little blister. But overall, it's a pretty slick little ride for a 64. The interior is actually original. They did put new carpet and a new dash pad, but and a new headliner as well. But the seats and door panels are original equipment. They did the armrest pad, that was redone. It's got a set of old school gauges for your oil pressure, water, and your battery. B&M shifter. It's got an Alpine stereo that sounds good. It's just kind of a neato car. I'll pop the hood. And as I mentioned, it's a solid lifter motor. I've got the specs on it, and I will put those specs in our listing. I'm going to go ahead and shut it off. It's hot here in Texas, and she's running about 185. It's also got a B&M torque converter with the stall. It feels like, I'm going to guess, about 2,000 RPMs. Just enough when you gas it and that torque of that motor kicks in. Man, she goes. It's definitely a tire roaster. Underneath it has some traction bars from Caltrax, new shocks. I don't know the ratio of the rear end, but I'm going to try to find out and put it in the listing. But you can look down the side of this car. It's really pretty slick. Under the hood, the 440, it's 9.5 to 1 compression. It's got an Edelbrock intake. It's got some Doug's long tube headers. It's got a disc brake conversion for the front, so it stops real good. Got an electric cooling fan. Got an extra tranny cooler right here in the front. Of course, it has power steering. It's got a lot of new steering components, bushings, shocks, all the typical stuff, tie rods that you do when you rebuild the front end of a car. But it kind of reminds me of Grandma's car until you pop the hood. And underneath is a good horsepower wedge motor. I don't know how many horsepower it is, but a 440 is usually, I think, 350, 375 horse. But it's enough to light up the BFGs with no problem. All the chrome on the outside, the stainless steel is in excellent shape. Some of the chrome, like around the vent windows, you can see some pitting, a little bit of pitting on the door handles themselves. But all the stainless moldings that Chrysler used back in the day, or Dodge I should say, they still look fantastic. The molding around the rear window is also in excellent condition. But if you're looking for a cool, old school, I'll call it a grandma sleeper, it's got mufflers on it, but it still sounds pretty healthy. I would probably like to put a set of Flowmasters on it. I just like the way the Flowmasters sound. But it's a car you can drive around, you can put it in a show, and you can enjoy it. And the paint's not so perfect that you're going to be upset if somebody leans against it. But it's good enough where you're going to get compliments on it. I'll call it a good driver quality paint job. If you got any questions, give us a call. I want to show you this fuel pump underneath. And it's got a fuel pressure regulator. There it is. It's all braided lines. It's got a regulator up there by the carburetor. But if you got any questions, give us a call. We'd love to sell you this little fine ride. The trunk has no spare tire. See if we got enough time on this video. I'd like to show you the inside of the trunk. Looks like they painted the dash silver. You know, let's see. The trunk is kind of unfinished. It needs a mat, but it's been coated. It's kind of hard to do a two-handed trunk opening. Here we go. It's got the speckle paint. Inside the trunk you can see it's in good shape. And there's the amplifier for the stereo. They also clear coated underneath the deck lid. I don't know what the original color of this car was, but right now it's black and it looks good. So you probably need to get a spare tire and a trunk mat. That's a big trunk. But I thank you for looking. I thank you for your time. This is Bronco Bob wishing you happy trails. Have a great day.